Okay.
Eric, let me introduce you. This is Eric Lehman. He's both a medium and a psychic, and I'm Vivian Shabra, and I'm a crystal healer. Eric, you are both and you teach both, right?
That's correct.
Medium and psychic.
That's right.
What's the difference?
So, well, Vivian, mediumship is really a total blending with someone in the spirit world to where the communication can take place between the two worlds. And it's like I'm sandwiched between the love here of the person on earth and the person in the spirit world. And for it to be different, I can't just be talking about information about somebody. I actually have to have the communication going on in my mind with the person in the spirit world.
Conversation? You mean like a conversation?
Absolutely. So when I'm working with the person in the spirit world and they mention to me, well, let's say I can feel a ring on a lady's finger that I'm working with in the spirit world. So I'm going to say, oh, I feel that ring on your finger. Would you like to talk about that ring? And then she'll talk about the ring, and I'll say, would you like to show it to me? And then she'll show me the ring, and then, I'll say, oh, well, does your loved one have the ring? And so that way I get her to talk a little bit more about whatever she's already talking about, kind of like you interviewing me.
Oh, I see. So you start with a question and then you follow on and you see where it takes you and you start to explore a topic.
Right. So, but see, there's that communication. So I'm talking here in the physical world,
yes,
but at the same time I'm having a conversation in the back of my mind with them, and that's where the communication takes place in a way where the person in the spirit world can then talk about what they want to talk about, but I get them to talk a little deeper about it instead of just a little drop of this and a drop of that and a drop of that, and none of it goes together. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, I do see what you mean, and I want to ask you a question. Is it possible to give us a demo? Like maybe I have a spirit here who wants to say something to me?
No.
Not the right time and place.
It is not the right time.
Not the right venue.
So really, I think it's best to have an appointment set up.
Yes.
Because
yes.
There's a reverence. Now, could I just jump into it? I could, but it's not something I would do when I'm filming a video. I kind of like to have a time and a place set aside where I get into that gear. The psychic, obviously, I could jump into really easy.
Okay.
Because the psychic, though, is more like it's communicating on a soul-to-soul level with the spirit within somebody here on Earth.
Uh-huh.
And that's where you can get facts about someone's life all through their past and history, the present, and then you can get future possibilities because the information's contained within your auric field. And so it's a lot different than working mediumistically. Now, let's say you've come to a medium and you want to hear from your grandmother. Your history with your grandmother is in your auric field. So yes. I could psychically tune into your love for your grandmother in your aura, and I could pull out facts, memories, and information about your grandmother, and you'd say, yes, 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 and you would think I was a medium.
Oh, but you're not actually contacting my grandmother, you're contacting what's in me and what my energy field is carrying. I've always wondered about that piece.
Yeah, it's possible to do that.
Yes, I know. So, I do that too. Yeah.
Well, right, and I think some people accidentally think that they're a medium when they're actually working psychically. So having
because they can pick up that information about the other spirit that is imprinted on the person's energy field.
That's right.
But that's not the same as contacting the spirit and talking to the spirit.
That's right. So quite often in a reading or a mediumship demonstration, something will come through the medium from the spirit world that the person in the audience or the sitter doesn't know. And they're going to say, no, I don't know about that. Well, then what happens is they'll go home later, they'll talk to somebody else in the family, or they'll go digging through their boxes and find whatever that information was, and they'll say, oh my gosh, it's right. And when that happens, you know there was pure communication going on, because it couldn't have come from their auric field because they didn't know about it previously.
Yes.
You see?
I understand.
So
yes.
I love it when someone tells me, no, that's not right.
Because you know there's...
Because I know it is right, and they're going to find out later. So
and that's your evidence, isn't it?
That's the best evidence, I think,
yes,
really,
yes.
that there was real communication going on.
Yes.
With psychic, though, I could tell you about the pictures in your home. I could tell you about the jewelry in your jewelry box. I could tell you all that stuff.
Because you're carrying it in your field.
That's right.
And you're able to read it from there.
That's right.
And you know it in your own heart and soul, so you can read it from there.
That's right. And also a picture. You know, I have people say, do I need to bring a photograph of my loved one? And I say, absolutely not. Don't hand me a photograph. Why? Because I can read the photograph psychically and tell you all about this person's life, how they died, and all kinds of things psychically. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like anything. Don't bring me jewelry, don't bring me pictures, don't bring me a thing. Just let me work, and we'll see if the person you're looking for comes. Obviously, I can't guarantee they will work with me. Do you know, I'm not their boss. I can't make them work with me if they don't want to. And
I guess it's whether they want to communicate with the person in front of you or not.
Well, that's right. It would be, well, number one is the medium. They size me up from the spirit world, you know, and they think, can I work with that medium or not? And do you see what I mean? You've
yes.
got to be highly recommended over there. Really, because you're working
you have
for...
to have credentials.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I like to think...
Good to know.
I like to think my grandmother's over there saying, hey, go talk to my grandson, you know, but...
Yes.
And I'm sure she is. But, you know, you're working with both of them, and, you know, there's people here you won't pick the phone up for. And I like to think that in the spirit world, it's the same way. They might think, there's no way I'm talking to that medium. His life experience doesn't affiliate with my life experience, so he's not going to communicate me the way I want to be communicated, right?
So you've got to please two groups. You've got to please the spirits, and you've got to please the people.
Absolutely.
I think that is amazing information, and thank you very much. I think we should just pause there so we can reflect on what you've said.
Okie doke. Sounds good to me.
All right.